In this video, we are going to see about the application of water in biological system. I am Jennifer, Assistant Professor of Biomedical Department, Rohini College of Engineering and Technology. Let's go into the topic. The main thing of we are going to study about the purpose of water. So water is an excellent solvent for the polar substances, that is include organic ionic substances like salt, or contains some charged particles, and some non-ionic substances like sugar that contains the polar groups, slightly negatively charged hydroxyl groups. When polar substances dissolve in water, the ions and the polar groups are surrounded by water molecules, which separates the ions or the molecules from each other. So the water, as if it is a transparent medium, the solvent property of the water make it an excellent transport medium in blood, lymphatic system, alimentary canal, xylem, and phloem in plants. So this blood, lymphatic system, and alimentary canals in animals, and xylem and phloem in plants. The composition of the cell contains water is about 70 to 95% of the cell contains only water. Okay. Next, the various biological functions of this water is to normally in aquatic organisms it helps to disperse the seeds from one place to another. It changes the gametes to for fertilization, and for fertilization by swimming gametes. It also helps in the germination of the seeds by swelling, breaking up of a testa, and further development has been changed by using of this water. This water supports a main mechanism, which is example if Annelida. Water acts as a hydrostatic skeleton. Water also helps in protection. For example, lacrimal fluid for mucus. So lacrimal fluid is an tears, and mucus is present in your nose or internal organs of internal of your body. That is inner lining of your body. Whether it is can be from the mucus means from the nose to the anus, there will be an inner, there will be a slightly fluid-like structure which is called as a mucus. So, when high heat capacity of water, the water has been changed the 1 kg of water into 1 degree Celsius. When water has a high heat capacity, that means the large amount of heat is required to raise relatively small temperature. This is because most of the energy is used in breaking the hydrogen bond, which resists the movement of the molecules. So temperature has been changed within the water or minimized. As a result of this, high heat capacity is maintained. Next, water acts as an heat of vaporization. A relatively large amount of heat energy is required to vaporize water. This is due to the hydrogen bonding. As a result of this, water is an unusually high boiling point for such a small molecule. So the energy transferred to water molecules allow to vaporize and results in the loss of energy to the surrounding system. Thus, cooling takes place. So sweating and panting of animals, opening of mouth, and some reptiles such as crocodile, and transpiration of leaves helps in cooling of the body. Water has high heat and fusion. So latent heat of fusion is to measure the heat energy required to melt a solid. Due to the high heat capacity of water, the ice requires relatively large amount of heat to thaw. Conversely, the liquid water must lose a relatively large amount of heat energy to freeze. So when we freeze, it forms into a crystalline structure, and particularly it damaging the internal cells. So the density and the freezing property of the water. The density of the water decreases to below 4 degrees Celsius. Therefore, the ice floats in water. Therefore, it floats. So the ice floats. It forms as a surface first and the bottom last. If pond froze from the bottom upwards, the freshwater organism could not exist in the Arctic climate. So ice insulates the water below it, thus increasing the chances of survival of the organism in water. So the ice is formed on the surface of the water. So water below 4 degrees Celsius tends to rise upwards. Thus it helps in the circulation of water, resulting in the nutrition cycling and colonization of water to greater depth. The high surface tension and cohesion. So cohesion is the force whereby individual molecules stick together. So the water has a high surface tension than any other liquid. The high cohesion of water molecules is important in cells and in translocation of water through xylem in plants. Many small organisms rely on this surface tension of water to settle on the water or to stake over it on its surface. Thank you for guys.